Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it. This is Michel. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, Mayfield. And he rifles it, complete, caught by Landry. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That's good for 28 yards.
First down, Browns.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. On the ground, Michel. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Defense wins championships, baby. Spons. No.
On the ground, this is Michel. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And give him a full 10 yards there, second and goal. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Duke Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Roethlisberger. To the right side and complete to Washington. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jannard Avery drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go.
He's got a man, complete. The 40, the 30, past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 96 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. So from back deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked.
Ready?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Joseph on for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Here we go.
(21-0) our score after 1. 2nd quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 12.
Black 30. 53 at the mic. Hey, here we go. Black is good.
On 2nd and 12, Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Big stop, let's go.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Shift. Take both of them.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Now Callaway on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 42-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Michelle. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker T.J. Watt there on the coverage. Here's Jack Fox now. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 16-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down. We know, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, nothing.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger. And his throw here's incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Quarter. 56 to Mike.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michelle. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Mayfield. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point up and through. And the rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Now Roethlisberger looking deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Roethlisberger. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns 16.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Boswell's kick is good. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the toss, here's Michelle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there and a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michelle. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Regular. 26,
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing, Mayfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. From 13 yards out, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here.
And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off by Greedy Williams, the rookie from LSU. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
50. Show that bench release and go. 56 to Mott, boys. 56.
Roethlisberger will throw. Goes underneath for Bell. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Ready? Like 5.
56 is the mic. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 at the 42-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Easy.
Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Johnson, the intended target. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. That's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And it's Michel once again. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Come to me, it's me.
On third down, Michel. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
Yeah, baby. Boom.
It's now fourth down.
Fourth down, and on is Greg Joseph for the Browns field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do?
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett with sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Banjo.
77.
59.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to look deep down the field. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him a gain of 38.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
59, Mike. Check, 59. I'm on.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Back to throw. And McDonald here over the middle. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
He can't hang. Smooth.
Switch.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Here's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Strip that ball.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Watch the ship. Watch the
Take both of them.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Easy.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Ain't no such thing as a law. Hey, exit.
They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
180.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It was Denzel Ward in from his corner spot there to take him down for the loss. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's to the 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Bell. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On second and 2, Roethlisberger. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Myles Garrett in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger.
Alert. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Watch the slant. Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic.
They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And now Big Ben will lead the Steelers up to go for 2. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Browns drive about to get started. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before.
Now Mayfield lost the football. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Mayfield and his Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
At
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminated touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mike 59. Mike the 59. I got it. Mike. 59.
Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting them behind them.
Now Roethlisberger going top shot. It got his man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
White 80.
Mike 58, right there.
Watch twist.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A big play. Smith-Schuster on the throw from Big Ben. 54 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Olivier Vernon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. This is Bell. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Roethlisberger will throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike.
Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on 4th down. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. 50.
58's the mic. Go 58's the mic.
Hey, let's go.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there, Hal.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hand seam. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Cleveland, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, the loss here is their 10th of the season. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.